Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dan. I've been a professional real estate investor for 2 decades now, and this is the first things I do whenever I buy a property. Whether it's a single family or a multifamily property, there's a few things I do to create efficiency in the units that not a lot of people consider. So before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe to this video. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, my name is Dan. I'm a former financial advisor, stockbroker. I retired from the business at 38. I traveled around a bit, got a little bored, and moved to Beijing. I'm actually moving back to America this year, and I'm starting a larger real estate investment fund. If you're interested in details about that, email me below. Thanks, guys. So the first things I do whenever I buy a unit or a building, you have to create efficiency, value add. So when you look at a building, think, how can I improve this? How can I make more money? It's either increasing the rent or decreasing expenses. All right, a couple things I do. When I bought a quad, there were 5 electrical boxes in the basement. 1 for each unit and 1 for the landlord. They needed updating. So what did I do? I got rid of the 5th one and just had 4. So I ran the very small electricity for the landlord into the tenant's units. They'll never see it. It's literally 1 or 2 light bulbs each. And that's one less bill I have to worry about. The grass, if you have a multifamily unit in an urban setting, you might be able to get rid of the grass and save $20 to $100 a month on cutting the grass. That's what I did. I have a very small strip of grass in the front yard. I dug up the grass, I laid down wood chips. No more having a lawn care service come over. That literally saved me about $40, $50 a month on that one building. And the inside, I go in there, I look at anything that I don't need and the tenants don't need. Anything that could be a hazard to tenants or children. Any old wires, old TV antennas. If you're old enough, you remember before cable, you had the TV antenna on the roof and the lines coming into the basement. Get rid of all that junk. Any old wires, just anything you don't need, get rid of. Any old blinds, curtains, things like that, just get rid of them. They don't need curtains, they can put them up themselves. Get rid of anything that'll create inefficiency or that could harm or hurt the tenants. Think of a baby playing, a child running around. Is there anything? Is there a pipe that is old or maybe rusty, sharp? Can you put a foam cover over it for safety? Make sure everything's safe, clean, efficient, and the old things, just get rid of them. So actually what I do before I close on a building, I put in the purchase agreement contingent on if there's any vacancies, if we can immediately, the second they agree to it, to our purchase deal, if we can immediately list them for rent. Yes, we list the apartments, the house for rent before we even close. 9 times out of 10, if they're agreeing to your purchase, they're gonna let you lease it out. So you could have a new lease in there before you even close. But ideally, you sign them up the day of closing. So the lease starts day 1 when you own it. No vacancies whatsoever. We're minimizing expenses, we're getting rid of vacancies, and we're increasing rent, value add. A lot, especially now, a lot of these units that are coming up for sale, they've been in the same family for 20, 30 years. They're way underpriced. The average rent right now in America is $1,300. Depending on where you are, it's probably a lot more. I'm seeing single family houses in the Midwest go for $2,000 a month. $2,000. A few years ago, my single family house was going for $1,000. Rents are increasing very, very rapidly. And a lot of landlords, especially these mom and pop landlords, which about 40 some odd percent of buildings are owned by, they're way undervalued. Over 40% of these landlords are just small time, mom and pop, under 10 units. They really don't know what they're doing. They're not creating efficiencies, and they're not at market price for their rents. They're older people that are getting ready to retire and just have a very cheap rent. Same tenant in there forever, no updates, no efficiencies. Raise the rents, eliminate problems before they happen, and create efficiencies. Get rid of expenses that you don't need. That's how I do it. That's what has made me a millionaire in real estate over these past couple decades. This is what I will continue to do in the new real estate I purchase. If you want information on the real estate that I'm going to be purchasing this year, email me below. Let's create efficiency together and let's make some money together. Thanks, guys.